Welcome back to the show, everybody. We got a great one lined up for you this morning. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of these headlines. CNBC finally gets it right. Coinbase and Dogecoin launching on Thursday, but there's also a mass adoption bit of business going on that you're going to want to know about. And with Coinbase, by the way, Stellar has big news. China pushes forward with the yuan. The EU, that's right, the European Union advancing plans for digital wallet. That's almost to 500 million people, everyone. Where is the U.S. on crypto right now with regulations? We're going to catch up on that, and I think you're going to like that. TA experts tell us to watch out for XRP prices, $2.40, $5 plus, $13 plus. It's all still on the table. Let's just roll that beautiful intro and get into this.
This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at BackUpBradleyAbove and everything that we're talking about here today. Make sure you follow us on Twitter as well, guys and ladies, men and women. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you follow us on Twitter because we do cover a lot of news. Not everything makes the YouTube channel. So here we go. Let's get a look at it. So 1.6 trillion plus for the crypto market cap. And that is a lot of money still missing. It says we're up 4.34% here. But the reality is we're off because, we know it was 2.5 trillion for the crypto market space down to 1.6 right now. So obviously the space is way off, let alone any new money coming in at the moment. So Bitcoin at 37,000 plus, Ethereum at 2,600 plus, Cardano coming in at $1.77 right now. Dogecoin, which is going to be offered tomorrow, up at 42 cents right at the moment. Obviously feeling a bit of a surge because of the Coinbase news, right? 31% up on the 24-hour, 21% up on the 7-day. So I think you see where most of the gains are. Looking right here, $1.02 for XRP right now, sitting at a disappointing number 7 spot, courtesy of the dereliction of duty and intimidation tactics of the SEC. We know that the SEC has lost a massive motion to strike the fair notice defense and be able to see the legal documentation between Ripple and their attorneys. That motion has been denied. It just keeps getting better for Ripple and XRP. Let's go ahead and look at the range this morning. Sitting at $1. And we are looking at the fact that we are ranging between 97 cents and 104. Before we get out of here today, we're going to hear from a technical analyst, an expert on crypto, who says what we need to pay attention to in the very near term. And you know what? It is really, really good news. So we're going to take a look at that in just a second. But let's go ahead and go through some of this news very quickly here. I'm going to try to keep it as tight as possible. So here we go. This is from Hall of Famer Michael, who reminds us that CNBC now shows XRP instead of Ripple after getting called out by CEO Brad Garlinghouse on Twitter. Good for you, Brad. And I love that you actually went out there and went after him and said, hey, when are you going to stop calling XRP Ripple? Right? Yeah. Really great stuff. So it's the little things, right? Well, this is not really a little thing. Watch this. Okay, so there's really two pieces of news with Coinbase this morning. Let's start with this one here. Coinbase Pro has listed Dogecoin with trading expected to begin on Thursday. Now, I think this is where I remind you that Coinbase is an exchange. You could a la like a broker, right? Pretty much. So here's the dirty little secret. They make money on both sides, the buy and sell side. When people say, well, why are you listing Dogecoin and you haven't relisted XRP? I understand. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit, but I understand because they know that Dogecoin is popular, and whether it has partnerships or whether it is a meaningful investment or not, obviously doesn't matter to Coinbase, or it wouldn't be there. Right? What does matter to them is the fact that they're going to make a lot of money on trading fees, whether you're buying it or selling it. So I think that's where we're at on that day. Now let's take a look at this because, if you've forgotten, I Trust Capital, the best crypto gold silver IRA, has now offered Cardano. Now we've gone over this. But it breaks down the top 5 reasons to invest in Cardano. They cite decentralized finance adoption for the network and working in emerging markets, Haskell programming language, formal verification, proof of stake, Ouroboros, they say, right? And they have an experienced team as well. So there you have it. If you're interested in tax-free crypto IRA, whether it's Cardano or some other asset, they got it, and they are the best. Let's take a look right here, and a link in the description for all of that stuff. So Stellar has some really great news today and yesterday, obviously. The Stellar Public Network successfully upgraded to Protocol 17, which introduces a new feature designed to make it easier to issue regulated financial instruments on Stellar. Well, let's take a look at just a part of this article that's going to give it to you. It says right here, they upgraded successfully to Protocol 17, woohoo, and it says introduces a new feature, asset clawback. Listen to this. That is designed to allow businesses issuing regulated financial instruments such as money market funds, bonds, equities to comply with regulatory requirements by demonstrating the ability to revoke assets in certain situations. Clawback doesn't affect existing assets, balances, or accounts. Rather, it opens up new possibilities for issuing regulated assets on the Stellar network. Congratulations to Stellar. Full disclosure, you guys know I've been holding XLM as long as I've been holding XRP. So this is fantastic news for me. I believe XLM, XRP, I believe they're going to be very important to the framework of the new digital asset space. And by the way, that new digital asset space, as they just told us, also encompasses much more than just cryptos. We're talking about derivatives, financial instruments, right? Securities products, money market funds, bonds, and equities. This, to me, is like a moment I've been wanting to see this for years now in this space. So having this happen for Stellar, to me, shows that we're very close to seeing some conversions to the digital asset space with these particular financial instruments. Very, very bullish news for me. Continuing on with the central bank digital currency trials, China is handing out $6.2 million worth of its digital yuan to Beijing residents in a lottery. Now, we've talked about this, that the digital yuan and China's push to be the first and the leader in the fourth industrial revolution, launching their stablecoin in their country and staying ahead of the rest of the world on this matter, is putting a lot of pressure on everyone else to not let China be the leader of the fourth industrial revolution. And we just heard the other day that, in fact, the U.S. is not behind, according to Jeremy Allaire, because he cited the public-private relationships for private stablecoins that currently exist right now in the entire space. So if you look at USD Coin, which is tied to Circle and Jeremy Allaire, and Brian Brooks, when he was chief legal officer at Coinbase, they both remarked it was one of the most important projects they worked on in their career. And they both have illustrious careers. So that is an incredible statement. Now, with that thought and that understanding, it tells me also that Jeremy Allaire is leaning heavily into the fact that the U.S. has been looking at the data and the simulation data, or not simulation, but the actual real data of these private stable coins, and understanding exactly what the impact would be of a federal issued or a U.S. Treasury issued digital dollar. So that is a pretty remarkable thing for Jeremy Allaire to say, not so fast China or anyone else. The U.S. is much further ahead than any of us actually realize because of that public-private relationship that could exist. So we're going to keep an eye on that, but there's a lot happening this morning. Take a look at this. Coinbase also to allow users to use card for via Apple and Google wallets. Now, this means you can hook your Coinbase card to your Apple and Google Pay. That's what we're talking about here. And you know what? This reminds me a lot of the recent news of PayPal telling everybody not only can you buy crypto on the platform, but now they're going to let you send it to a third-party wallet. Remember, when PayPal first started offering crypto, it was in-house. You couldn't take it off the platform, and now you can. And now we see Coinbase now really being able to offer their card that you can hook that and connect it to your Apple and Google Pay. And the company said it will automatically convert all cryptocurrency to US dollars and transfer the funds to a customer's Coinbase card for use in purchases and ATM withdrawals. That's how every day this is getting. I mean, it is starting to really, really come together. And like I said, 1.6 trillion for the cryptocurrency market cap. A lot of old money's missing out of this space, let alone the trillions of dollars worth of new money that will be moving into this space because of the things that we're talking about right now. All right, looking right here. This is another massive piece of news, ladies and gentlemen. European Union advances plans for digital wallets. Now let's drill down on this. The European Union is not a small place, ladies and gentlemen. You know, this is a big deal. So let's take a look at this. And it says European Union is advancing plans to launch a post-pandemic block-wide digital wallet that will give people a seamless way to digitally access public and private services. EU member states have been asking for secure online methods citizens could use to easily tap services. Detailed plans will be introduced on Wednesday. Later today, digital wallet is intended to be simple, secure, and protect its people online. And it comes down, I think there's another spot I want to give here. The new digital ID will give all Europeans the keys to their own or to their digital twin, said Thierry Breton, a EU commissioner in charge of digital policy. It says Brussels is in talks with member states regarding technical and operational standards, and the wallet is anticipated to be accessible within a dozen or so months. So we're talking within a year here. That's the projection. The planned digital wallet is a part of an audit being conducted throughout the EU regarding existing digital identification methods currently being used. The current system in place is being used by 19 of the 27 EU countries and isn't necessarily compatible. Member states would control the implementation of the new system. So this is the thing that I really caught my eye here. Greg Kidd, who is the creator, early seed investor, and former executive at Ripple, shows this same exact post and says, a step in the right direction towards a more portable form of identity. Well, at least for Europeans. Shout out to Greg Kidd and everything he's doing. If you haven't remembered, Greg is the creator of Global ID, which is really a private digital wallet that helps you keep your identity and your possessions really secure in your own digital wallet. I have a Global ID myself, right? So this is pretty remarkable. Now, I'm not saying that we know that it is that. They're not saying that it is Global ID, but the point is it really makes me think, if he's bullish on the idea that it's a step in the right direction, might the Global ID be a solution for the European Union and those digital wallet offerings? We will see. There are 446 million inhabitants in the EU area. That's a lot of people having digital wallets. How about that one? And they're talking about rolling this out, whether it's Global ID or some other option for a solution here for digital wallets for EU members. The reality here is that they're talking about having this done within a year or so. So that is extremely, extremely bullish. Now, with that being said, on the other side of the pond, let's come back here to the United States and figure out, what is the state of crypto right now? Where are we in the U.S.? I think this is a great article from CoinDesk that really sums up where we are, because a lot has happened in May. Let's go ahead and get to this. And thank you to Nicolesh Day. So let's take a look at this, breaking it down. A lot has happened in the last 2 weeks. Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation officially published its request for information about how banks are using digital assets and what the federal regulator could do to assist entities. New acting comptroller of currency, Michael Hugh, announced he had ordered his staff review all pending matters, interpretive guidance issued under the previous administration, which was Brian Brooks, before revealing in a congressional hearing the Office of Comptroller and the Federal Reserve and the FDIC Corporation were discussing a potential interagency group to examine crypto policy. That is pretty That's pretty good news. I mean, that's a lot of cooperation we haven't seen to date, to be perfectly honest. 1 second. Okay, just had to kiss Mrs. Backup goodbye. Hope you have a great day at work. Love you very much. All right, here we go. We got to do it. It's a busy morning. A day later, the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell reiterated the Fed's first research paper about the digital dollar will be published this summer, and he believes a U.S. central bank digital currency should prioritize consumer privacy and protection. A few hours after that, Securities Exchange Commissioner Gary Gensler warned that bad actors in crypto should prepare for enforcement actions. He spoke during an address to 1,700 members of the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority. Also on Thursday, Treasury Department published a tax plan. Now that's important. Taxes are important. I don't like them, but they're important. That included an entire section on crypto, warning there was significant detection problem with crypto use for illicit activities. It suggested that exchanges receiving over $10,000 in crypto in a single transaction should report it. So a lot has happened. A personal opinion here from Nicolesh. Overall, the week was a good sign for the industry. Mainstream adoption will depend in some part on crypto being as normal or seen as normal, like cash or traditional assets. Caitlin Long said it best here from Avanti fame, put it in this excellent thread. U.S. policy's approach under the Biden administration so far seems to be, if you comply with applicable laws and regulation, we're cool with whatever. And that is the kind of tone that we need, right? Just like we saw in the early days of the internet, right? Through that lens, the Internal Revenue Service cracking down on those trying to hide their crypto gains, or Gary Gensler's SEC going after scammers or other lawbreakers is good. This, of course, depended at least on Gensler's providing some regulatory clarity everyone hopes for. So crypto companies don't have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on legal counsel to try and conduct a small, legally compliant token sale. That's for sure. So we are getting closer. There is a lot that has happened in the last couple weeks, and I want to roll this out right now and take a look at what's going on with price. So looking at price, Dark Defender tells us he is expecting XRP to try the 106 and then jump towards 133, 144 shortly. Now, it doesn't mean that you couldn't see some give and take before that moment happens, so keep that in mind. This area will be again important. Correction is possible there, so you could see a price correction once you touch that area as well. So once it is broken 174, will be in play again. So once it gets above the 133, 144 range, 174 will be back in play. Correction of Elliott Wave 4 back to 144, 133, and the road to 240 and all-time high plus is already in the works. So that's where we are. If we take a look at this really quickly here, we see the road to 240, 560, and $13 plus here is really right inside of here, and here is where we are at the moment. So we keep a lookout for where we are. Just to recap again, the price is sitting at 101, right? So we want to make sure that we watch. We got to get above that 102, 106 range. Then we can start to see if we stay above that. If we do, we push for the 133, 144. If we can get above that, 176 is next. If not, I would expect the lower support lines like we've experienced over the weekend previously to be in play, because the longer we sit in one spot, the more chance you have for the price to roll down to the lower support level. So we'll keep an eye on that. That's the news for today. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe, leave a comment below. Check out all the links in the description box and the comment section. They are trusted, vetted links. Be very careful what you click on out here, ladies and gentlemen. There is a lot of scamming activity. And in fact, if you see anyone asking you for money in my comment section, it is not me. Do not respond to it. In fact, report it to YouTube that it is a scammer impersonating my account. I will never ask you for money directly. All right, here we go. That's going to do it for me. I'll catch all of you on the next one.